Hello, good morning. How is everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody is fine. Today I want to talk today. It's not really, I wouldn't say it is something that is detrimental or horrible, but I tell you what, I want to talk about something. It seems that a trend is happening around me. My friends, my associates, every person that I actually know that lives here around me here, not up in Luzon, not up at Baguio, not down in Duma, not all anywhere else, Bohol, Cebu. They're sick. They're sick. And as you know, a couple of guys went back to the States. Actually, more than a couple that I know. A couple of vloggers. More than a couple of vloggers. I can name 5 right now because of issues. So, I'm saying to myself, what in the world's going on? Even Ruth said last night, Tom, what is going on? I said, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Is it the weather? Is it? I don't know. But it's something that you really need to think about this. Get your P's and Q's together. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to, this is coming from my heart here. If I had a do-over, if the Lord says, hey, you're going to start back in 2010, 2009, we're going to give you a do-over. Would I still come to the Philippines? Yes. Okay. What I have done, what I did coming to the Philippines? No. And what I mean by this is this. Would I sell everything that I own? Realistically, was it that horrible? In my mind at that particular time, it was. What was horrible for me? Stress, strain, life, living life, constant, this, not trouble, but constant stress of, being on a job and doing this, maintaining a lifestyle, getting called in for jury duty, not showing up, wanting to issue a bench warrant, just stuff that is like crazy. Going to the stoplight, took a ride on red, everything was fine, no worries, get pulled over. The officer says, and then I was starting to say something, he said, oh, you have a dash cam. I said, yeah, I do. Why? Why'd you pull me over? Oh, sir, I was thinking that you took that ride on red and you didn't complete. So I said, I did. I said, in fact, I was behind the white line because I saw you. So you know what his intent was. Oh, I see you have dash cam. Well, of course I have a dash cam. But even here you have to have a dash cam. You better have one here. If you don't have one here, you're really in trouble. You better have one in the front and the back and all 4 windows. But I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is living. If I had to do over, would I sell everything that I own to come here to the Philippines? No, I wouldn't. I would have kept my RV, number one. I would have had to store it for 2 years or 3 years in the place. Yes, I would have had to do that. Would have been something that I could have done and kept my RV there. Yeah, I should have done that. I should have kept my RV there. I should not have left everything, sold everything, and grabbed that money and come here. Now, granted, I could have used that, $10,000, but still, I would have figured it out one way or another. But here's the thing that you don't think about. Simple things like that you don't think about is making a plan and coming here to the Philippines. If someone is sick, you need to kind of be prepared for that. And, having sickness and having somebody that's being sick, and it's really something. If you are not prepared, I don't care if you're healthy. If you're not prepared in some way or another of getting sick and having a plan B or D, you might find yourself in really serious trouble. I think everybody should really take a look at that. And don't necessarily think, I'm selling everything, I'm coming there no matter what, things are just horrible here. Well, you might need to come here for a couple years or 3 years and live here first before you start selling everything. Maybe you need to keep a car there. Maybe you need to do something else. Make sure that before you make that big leap of faith, that you find out exactly where you're going to live, number one, what kind of lifestyle you're going to have and where you're going to live, being the environment you're going to be in. Are you going to be able to get all the things that you readily available? Since the COVID, things changed immensely here. It's completely, it's like a switch, on off switch, light, dark, light, dark. Because the COVID actually changed uh, a lot of the process that was normally being done around the Philippines. That's changing. The fact is that it's completely different process now. In order to get point A to point B, you may have to go through this. You may have to do that. You may have to find yourself find an alternative medical doctors, transportation. You got to get all that worked out. If there's no ambulance where you're at, you need to think about that. If there's no actually a 911. 911 does not mean that they actually come to your house and pick you up. 911 means you make a phone call and hope that they get there in time before you are no longer here. As you see, I got my compadre here. Because that's one thing you just never really know. If an accident happens, and let me tell you what happened to me. I fell down the stairs. This has been a year or so back, maybe two. I fell down the stairs and found myself in really bad shape because I fell down the stairs. I didn't break anything, but I knocked the breath out of me and I couldn't breathe, and Ruth could not pick me up. And I was yelling to go get a neighbor, and I actually couldn't catch my breath. And in my mind, for that second, I was dying because I could not literally get up off the floor because I was wedged in the corner of the wall and I couldn't get my footing to get myself up. I had the strength to get up, but I couldn't get myself up because imagine you curled in a position that you just couldn't get your footing and arms and legs to move. And I managed, with Ruth's help, pulling me out from the wall and out in that, because the stair and the wall and the sink was all in. In other words, I fell in a little hole and I couldn't get out. And I found myself in that situation, and it woke me up at that moment. But that lasted about a month, and I realized, well, everything's okay, meaning that I know doctors, and they have doctors in town. But in going back thinking about that, what if I needed some type of care? And that's fine. But selling everything and coming here and making the decision to come here was a smart thing at that moment when I thought about it. Should you actually take and sell everything you own to get to that next step to come here? And even a couple of guys that I know are really close friends of mine, I said, you know what? Just come here, visit the area. Don't sell everything you own. Keep a few things there, because you're going to eventually in time move back. Even if you're 70 or 75 or 80, unless you want to die here and die on the grounds here. And I suggest you make that decision. If you want to do that, it's wonderful. You do whatever you want to do. But know this, that the burial plots here, you got to pay for eternity. You can't just be buried here and left alone and not worry about it like you do in the States. Here, for an example, it's eternity. You have to make a payment. It may be a simple $3 or $2 or $5 a month for eternity. And that means your family has to keep paying it, and their family and your grandchildren. So if they have 10 people there, they got to keep paying that in order to keep you in the ground. People don't realize that. That's fine, because you're gone. What do you care who pays what? It doesn't matter, right? But it's the burdens and thought process there. I got to thinking this morning about, I sold everything and I made a decision to sell everything. And I wish that I kept it, because Ruth and I are looking at RVs and thinking about coming back. And if I just had kept that. Now, would it be okay 7 years later in running and capabilities there? Maybe, maybe not. But there are places you can store it inside. There are places that actually take it out and they drive it. That's responsible people, and they're responsible for the wear and tear on that vehicle when they have it outside. Now, and they run it and keep the parts rolling and the tires rolling and all this, that, and other, and so there's no problem with it. And it ends up costing you about $70 a month on the average. But that $70 is an important factor. And there, I'm talking in Florida. And then $70 is something that I saw that I did not want to. Why would I waste money on that when I can just come here? And what made me realize this too is buying a car. When did I really need the car, and when I bought the car, and should I have bought the car when I bought the car? At the time, it was the right decision, but now thinking about it now, it's probably not the right decision. But I have to tell you, I did drive it solid for 10 months up and down the highway hard and heavy. I'm talking that thing went everywhere. It went up and down the mountains. It went to sea. It went everywhere. Everywhere I needed to go, and never any issues. Never cost me one penny other than tires and normal, to fix the thing up because it was in good shape. Uh, a couple $100. It cost me a couple $100. Well, let's see, $300 to be exact. And because I just had the motor redone, you guys, $240, and I did an oil change and alignment and stuff. But thinking about things and thinking about whether or not you want to sell, and maybe you want to keep some type of homestead there. If you have family there, it's another thing you got to think about. Are you going back in 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year? I have a friend of mine just said to me this morning, I'm not going back. What do you mean you're not going back? Don't you have children there? Yeah, I do. So you're not going to go back and see your children. What if one gets sick? Well, I have to go back then, don't I? I said, yeah, but you're the one just told me you're not going back. So really think about this. If you got parents alive, and you got parents that's still alive, and you're there here in the States, and you're whatever, 60 years old, and your parents are still alive, and they're out, maybe you need to think about going back and visit them, enjoy life with them for a while, even if they're in a nursing home or not in a nursing home. Some of the guys have parents that's still alive that's in their 80s, 70s, and 80s. They're still alive, and they retired at 60, 55. There's a gentleman here, 49 years old, just retired. His parents wanted to come with him. They came with him here to kind of check things out. They left and went back to the States because they just didn't like the smells and the odors and the graffiti and the things there in Cebu. So they went back to the States and said, okay, we'll check out other islands when we come back. But really their intention is just not come back. It's just not something that's pleasing for them. But the son loves it here and he likes it here. But even he was telling me, even now, he's thinking, I need to go back. I really need to go back. He says, I have a beautiful wife now, and I'm gonna take her with me back. I'm gonna go back, and I think I'll just piddle in things doing. Even though he's retired and he has money, he said, I think I can piddle more there in vehicles. And he loves painting, and he loves the artistic side, and he can't really be artistically inclined here, he said, so he's gonna go back. Whatever. Everybody has their reasons. So I, it's kind of like hit me. So, and I know I'm rambling on here for 12 minutes, but I just want to talk, even though, and I'm doing this on the healthy lifestyle, because if a person is coming to the Philippines and needs that just to find someone, and maybe just wanting to find a girl, that would be a positive thing. You just find a girl, take her wherever you want. Because Cambodia and Thailand and Asia, Vietnam are some beautiful places you can live. Even the Bahamas, even the islands, St. Thomas. You don't have to live in the Philippines if it's not something that's pleasing to you and if you can't get past certain parts of it. And I know that some people do fight that a lot. And fighting the getting past certain parts of the Philippines on how to move around, how to get around, how to get to an island, how to even get there. There's no means. Well, how do I get to this island when I want to go to this island? Well, you got better find someone that knows how to get to that island, because it's not like it's listed anywhere and you can't find it on the internet. So if I wanted to go to Camille Island, how do I even think about getting? If I wanted to do spaghetti, how would I even think about getting there? Well, you go in the car, or you go on a bus, and you go to there, and then you find someone somewhere. It's not like it's you gotta know people to get things done. And then better know this. This is something very important. If you have a lady, you want to make sure that you get her available. Some guy said, I'll never have my lady go to the States. I'll never take her there. I lost a lady there. I brought a lady there, and I got divorced from her. It caused me problems. So what? If one person is bad in that kettle or in that bunch, is all of them bad? No, because you found this one. Does that mean that she's going to be like that? If she's like that, who cares? If a person leaves you, that's what I don't understand, guys. I'm not bringing her back to States. She's going to leave me. If she leaves you, she's going to leave you here or there. No matter what. It's just a matter of time. So you go back to the States and she's going to leave you, and because she's beautiful and gorgeous and she's 25 years old and you're 65 years old, and there's nothing, I'm just using that as an example, but I'm just saying in your mind she's beautiful and gorgeous whether she's 55 years old or 60 years old and you're your age. But the thing too, you got to think about this, and I want to say this is people don't really, and if she's going to leave you in the States, let her leave you. So what? Well, I lose everything. Well, what are you going to lose? Just money? House? Money? Okay. So what? You lose money. So you lose everything you own. You're zero. You're living on the street. Is that the worst that's going to happen to you? Have you ever lived on the street? I have. I've been homeless. I've been homeless. I've lived on the street. And is it because of what I did? No, I didn't do anything. But you know something? You figure it out. You get up, like the Lord says, you get up and go do your thing. You make it happen. You find a way. But I see guys here, and they have money in the bank, and they cherish that money, and they cherish the girl, and they want to do it, but they get sick. And then they find themselves in unfamiliar territory, and they cannot be healed here. So you go to Guam, fly to Guam, or you fly back to the States. And you can get care. And even in Cambodia, my friend Kevin was telling me they got great care there in Asia, where he lives, Cambodia, Thailand, and all the places. But some of the 5-star places to get operated on, the hotels, they're like hotels, the hospitals are. And I'm sure they're wonderful and fine. But that's what your person needs to do, is go to places like that. But really, seriously, uh, before you sell everything you own, look at the whole picture before you make a decision on the small piece of the pie. Come visit here, live here for 6 months, or live here for a year, then make a decision. Oh, okay, I'm going to move over here for good. I wish I did not sell all my things, and I wish I did not sell all my things. And it's not like I had anything worthwhile. Big deal, a vehicle, you can buy a vehicle. You can get a vehicle. And I sold an RV. All right, I can get another RV. But the thing of it is some people have houses that they've had for years, and they're going to sell that house, put all the money in the bank, and come here to the Philippines. And they're going to may find if they've never been here before, maybe they need to think about coming here first and testing the water. It's like what, you turn on the shower and turn it on hot and you just jump in? No. You test the water first before you make the decision on coming here. Somebody said to me this morning, do you have a lot of coffee? I go, no, I've not even had my first cup yet. I'm just now on my first cup, and it's 10 o'clock in the morning. I've been up since 6. But I've been thinking about things and working on things and thinking about, and, I got some people that are sick. I got a lot of people that are sick, and I'm answering emails left and right this morning. Everybody that I know is in a hospital. Diabetic, low blood pressure, high blood pressure, kidney problems, liver problems, colon problems, stomach aches so bad they can't see straight, can't even get up out of the bed. These are just people, Americans that I know that are sick. And why? Why are you sick? Did you drink the water? No. Well, that's the thing. You don't drink the water here. It's like testing the water. You don't test the water and drink it first. It's going to make you sick. So coming here to the Philippines, you really do need to take care and think about it, because it's a society itself. It's a wonderful place to come. It's a wonderful place to live, and a wonderful place to visit and to stay here forever. But then again, too, you may find yourself, if you have family back in the States, don't sell everything you have unless you have it at your family's house and you have some way to come back there, in your mom and dad's house, or aunt and uncle's house, or brother, cousin, sister's house. And that way it will help you a lot. I know that for me, my mother and dad were still living, and I made it clear, but I did talk to them about it, and I went back to the States because they passed. Did I regret selling everything at that moment, not being with them? No, I did not, because I already was with them and been with them. So I didn't regret that. I didn't have a problem with that. But a lot of guys are telling me their mom and dad's still living, and they're going to live here full time, and they're questioning whether they should do that. it's up to them what anybody wants to do. Because I'm not judging anybody. I could care less. But I'm just telling everybody, don't just. A guy told me this morning, I'm selling everything. I'm coming there. And have you ever been here? No. Make sure you come here first, live here, and test the waters before you come here. Have you ever been outside the United States? No. Have you ever been to the Bahamas? No. Have you been outside the country of the United States of America? Never. And about 60% of the guys that I talk to on a regular basis have never been out of the country ever. They've never left the States. Never been, some have never traveled on a plane before. The guy coming here soon has never been on a plane before. I'm scared. And I said, you've never been on a plane. You sold your house. You sold everything, your cars, and you're coming here to the Philippines. Yes. And you sold everything you owned. Yes. And you never been here. No. I have my fiance. I got my wife. I'm gonna come live there, and I'm gonna build me a house. I'm gonna build me a. I'm gonna have this, and I said, okay, maybe come here with rose-colored glasses, but think about keeping a piece of you there. Oh, I can always go back. I have access back. I said, okay, well, you're fine then. A lot of guys come here, they don't sell. But if you've never been on a plane before, you never left the country. Oh boy. Oh boy. If you've never been on a plane before, thank goodness I've been on long flights. I've been on a lot of red eyes. And I've been traveled from New York to Hawaii. And the thing of it is you've got to really realize that it's a different world. It's completely different. And you need to be aware that it's way different than what it was than what you think it is. It's way different. I got off a plane. It was an eye-opener for me, honestly. It was a shock. Have I seen? I've been to Mexico, man. I lived in Mexico for a while, and I've seen a lot of stuff down there too. But the Philippines can keep you alive, awake, and happy, and you can live a long, contented life. But make sure you plan things out. I'm saying this so many times because guys bombard me with questions and emails and questions and things. Contact me in many different ways: Facebook, emails. So a couple of them did it on Twitter. So thank you guys for watching. I don't know how long this video is. It doesn't matter. I will put it on anyway. Who cares, right? And it's going on healthy living. Make sure you take care of your health because you don't know what's going to happen next day. God bless everybody, and I'll see you guys next time.